guys, welcome back to my episode 2 of To the Prem with Great Yarmouth. That's right. Now, if you haven't seen episode 1, go back and watch it. I guarantee you it's a thrilling episode. Well, it's just me playing Football Manager and telling you what I'm doing as I go along. So, Great Yarmouth, if you are joining in the second episode, I got the job. I've turned things around. I've released the assistant manager, and now I am trying to build a brand spanking new team from scratch. And as you can see in front of you on the pending transfers is my list of staff members that I'm trying to recruit. So we are currently, like I say, in the Eastern Counties Premier League division. I'm currently sitting 8th, as obviously no games have been played. And I kind of just showed you the layout. We're going to look at a bit more things in detail, like tactics, squads, and all of that in a bit more detail soon. However, I want to get my staff in, and I want to start playing friendlies and getting in a squad. So we are racing to the Premier. If you are joining us for the first time and you don't want to go back to episode 1, the whole point of this is to go from the Eastern's Counties League Premier Division to the Premier League with Great Yarmouth. Now, whether I'll be able to do it or not, who knows? If I get sacked, I'll have to go. The rule is I have to go into the same league as the league I was sacked in. So, for instance, if I get sacked in this league, I can go to any county Premier League team. So, if you need to know what that is, that's all of these here. So, from the Combined Counties League all the way down to the Western League Premier Division. So I can go to any one of those leagues if I get sacked as Great Yarmouth manager in that league. Going up, if I get sacked in one of these leagues, it's one of those leagues. So from Ishman to Northern, again, Northern South, and then etc, etc. So as you can see, we're currently sitting so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 8 leagues away from the Premier League. So 8 seasons, Great Yarmouth in the Premier League. Yeah, I'm not so hopeful too either, but we'll see how we get on. We're going to develop the club. We're going to hopefully get some great run going. We're going to get some great investments with the FA Cup that we have, things like that. So, in fact, one of these isn't showing something that I want. So I'm going to move training, and I'm actually going to do competitions, if I can remember where that is. In fact, no, I'm going to don't want the player stats. Actually, no, I'll keep the player stats, but we'll move training. I'm not really bothered about the training. Team competitions, there we go. So, as you can see, we're in the Eastern's Counties League Premier Division. We've got the FA Cup, the FA Vars, and the Eastern's Counties League Cup. So, they're the competitions that we're in for this year. I want to win the FA Cup, win the FA Vars. That's not going to happen. My concentration is the Eastern Counties League Premier Division, and hopefully a nice little run in the FA Cup. Who knows? We'll see what happens. So let's get on with the game. Let's move on to the next set of rounds. So we've got one news item in, and it's just saying that I was keen to work with Fraser, as you may have seen in my last one. I'm so excited to have him on board. Excuse me for 1 second. So the groundsman's now said to me, we have a groundsman, that's brilliant. Has asked me to alter the pitch dimension size. I'm going to be happy with that. I'm not really bothered. Lower leagues don't really have to concentrate on it as much. So Jonathan Burns wants to be my head of youth development, and I'm happy to say yes. Welcome aboard, sunshine. Welcome aboard. So moving on to the next one. So Higgins wants to be my chief scout. Yes, Higgins, you are my chief scout. So Hirons is getting a lot of physio contact. Obviously want him as well. Let's just see if I can pry him to us. So this is the first recruit from Higgins, and this is what he's offered me. So what I will do is I will look at this in a bit more detail in a minute. Oh, he's got good tackling. Central defender at 19 years old. He might be worth having a look at. Some of these stats bode well for a central defender as well. So he may be someone I might look into recruiting, especially at 19. He looks like a good person. Ollie Haynes as well. Winger, I'd like to know what his crossing is, but he's only one position there, so I'd rather him be an AML. But there we go. Loring, my coach, has also agreed, so welcome aboard, Loring. Good to see you on the board, son. So we've not been able to get any information, but that may be because he joined late, so that's fine. I'll forgive him for that. Smith wants to be a scout, so brilliant. Come on in. He should also give me a report, fingers crossed. He has. We've got Matt Cotton. Again, needs to be an AMR. Dan Florence. Eaton Manor, defensive midfielder, may suit in one of my formations. And Fahi Hallam, central defender. Again, another strong contender there. So, that's all good there. Pre-team to watch in our league is Glorston. Okay, keep that in mind. Available players and recruitment. So yeah, I want to scout these players. So keep scouting. Defenders, goalkeepers, hot prospects. I'm happy for that. And competitions to scout. They think we should get the... Yeah, I totally agree. We need to know who we're playing in our league. So it's a good idea to get that sorted. So we've got 3 staff members outstanding at the moment before I concentrate on the other ones. But obviously I want to get these underway. We've got our head physio, which is all good. So we've kind of got the main positions in, which is what we want to see. So here we go. So here's some of the players that maybe... I mean, as you can see... Not worthwhile signing. Some doubts, maybe worth tracking the player. I don't really want that. Fortunately, didn't get Matt Herons, so we'll have to look elsewhere for him. So we can certainly do that. That's not an issue. We are coming up close to next game. So what I'm going to do is show you what my staff responsibilities are. So we're still waiting on James Salisbury, who's going to be a defender scout. So he will be my first player in the squad if he decides to join me. But because we've got the main... bulk of the players, I'm going to go to responsibilities and change some of these down, so it makes it a bit easier for me. So at the moment under I want head of youth from Element to do the under 18s, and then my assistant manager will do the under 23s, and I'm going to get the assistant manager to do that as well. Really like the coach to do that, but it's not a problem. Individual I'll leave to me because I want to set up things like that. Youth squad be the head of youth, and general training is my assistant manager. Don't really change anything here because I want to control these. First team, player search advice comes from the chief scout always. Coach report from the assistant manager, and manage friendlies is my assistant manager. I'm going to handle tunnel interviews and all of that. Opponents instructions, I'm going to get my assistant manager to do that. I'm going to handle the team talks, and I'm going to also arrange the friendlies. Under 23s, I'm going to put my coach in charge of them. So that's all fine. So that's all I'm doing at present while that is sorting itself out, while I get me under 23s and under 18s. Apart from that, that's all good. So we're going to continue on before we start looking at players. Now, when it comes to reserve friendlies, just kind of want to put some friendlies in there just in case someone from the non-sign wants to do it. So we didn't get James Salisbury either. That's a bit of a disappointment. I really wanted him. That's not a problem. So what we'll do is we'll look at signing some players now that we didn't get everyone in. We can always get the 2 other people that we missed out on at a later stage. We've got enough staff. Like I say, we've got 1 scout and 1 physio to kind of cope with the moment. At the moment, you can see my fitness isn't the greatest, but hey ho, we're the best in the league for everything else. So let's start scouting some players then. So the best thing to do is start with contract status is unattached, and then also add the age because I don't want them to be older than 33 or 29 because I want to build a team that will hopefully play for a couple of years. So goalkeeper, the first line of defence, goalkeeper. There we go. So not very much scouting here done. What we have got is Jack Metcalf, so I'm going to take a gamble with him. And he said he wants to be a hot prospect, so that's fine by me. But also, I'm going to have a look at Tom Welps as well. His handling's not the greatest, but in this league, I don't think it matters way too much about that. So, there we go. So, we've got 2 there. Looking at my tactics first of all. So, my formation as well is a goalkeeper, back 4, 2 midfield, 2 up front, and 2 on the wings. So, that's the way I'm going to set out my kind of team. So we need a defender right, and again change that to defence, Now, kind of make tackling my head. So as you can see here we go. James and Nelly has been rated quite well. So I might take a chance at him and see what they say for James and Nelly. Moving on to Defender Central. Again, Ben Jackson. He was the young 19-year-old that we saw earlier in the report. Again, I would like him to be my Defender Central. So all I do is just buy 1 or 2 players first off, just to see how we get on with the club, with the players, and then we look for the kind of positions afterwards. So we've got no one here really unknown, but we've got a couple of clubs bidding on players. So what I may do, he looks quite popular, so I might go for Sam Hayes, just see how he gets on at that point. So there we go. So there's my defence in play for what I've asked for anyway. 2 midfielders. Moving on to an attacking form. Doesn't really give us any information there. He's 2 attacking midfield for me. That's because I did attacking midfield. I do apologise. That was silly of me there. So Harry Knox has got a 5-star recommendation, so I'm happy for that, and I'm happy for him to make it a stepping stone. Good luck to him on that. And I'm going to go for Ryan Harville as well. Again, he wants to do it as a stepping stone. That's not a problem for me. Wingers, I need someone that can cross the ball. Unfortunately, we haven't got anything, but we've got him as a slight recommendation. As long as he can play there, I'm happy with that. So let's have a look. See, he wants to go straight in with the contract. I'm happy to do that. So, moving on to left. Again, we haven't really got anyone here, but we've got Ryan Kirk, a couple there, and a couple there. I'm going to go for this guy here. Don't know anything about him, but we'll take a punt with him. So, again, I'm not really too fussed about the stats at this league. They will develop as well within time. So, finishing, Ray Ford will take a chance. He wants to come straight in as well, so that's a good shot. Look at the recommendation, Ray Ford, and these 3 also have potentials as well. So, yeah, I'm happy to hear for him to treat it. There we go. So, I've offered contracts to a starting 11, and let's see how we get on. So, 25, I'm happy for that. 20, I'm happy for that. Let's have a look. So, they want us to do that. They want us to do that. So, I'm going to leave these for the moment, because I don't feel these are important enough at the moment until we maybe get started. So, another one for £25, so that's good. So we are looking like we're getting the responses we want for these players. He wants 70, so I'm hoping he's going to be a decent player. Again, we'll find out what happens again. So I'm just going to offer these contracts in. I'm happy for, if anything comes ridiculous, like 130, I might have to look at it. But at the moment, I'm happy. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get some players in time just for the first game. Who knows? So we've got some people getting, again, maybe worth. Here we go. We've got our first forward, Ray Ford. Welcome to the club, Ray Ford. Quite highly rated. I've got a couple of players that are interested in some of the players that I've done. So we are second favourite, 9-2, and Wavenhoe were the team that were predicted first, I believe, in the media predictions. There we go. So they're the only team that apparently are our problem. We'll see about that. Now, Horsham's Neil. Now, I'm a huge fan of Horsham, so should I look at Ryan Neal? Probably wouldn't be able to afford him. He's valued at 700, so I've got no transfer money, so it's not even worth looking at it. Mason Love, he may be worth having a look at. And Callum Stewart on the left. Again, maybe worth having a look at a later stage. But I have asked these to be looked at, so we'll see what happens. So here's our first game. Again, someone else is in for Yobat, and Ford is to be available. So yeah, I'm very happy to have him in the club. No, I'm sure it won't take him long to adapt to how I play. Of course, I want to bring in some new faces, and no, I wouldn't hurt the club's finances. I have the utmost confidence in him, and I'm confident it will have a massive boost, and I hope he can help us with the performances on the pitch. and I have a great respect and look forward to working with him. So there we go. There, that's one there. So very forward. Let's have a look at his stats at what we had. So I'm going to change his biography to attributes analysis. So he's not looking the greatest of players, but again, like I say, we're in one of the bottom leagues. We're looking to develop. I'm looking to get in players. He may have better potentials depending on how the coaches progress with him, things like that. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. So we've been given the FA Cup preliminary round draw to be made. Now, I could sit here and do a voiceover style of Brislington versus Rains Park, but I'm not going to. So there we go. There is the full draw for the preliminary round, and we have been drawn against Malt Main in the NCE, the Northern Counties East Premier Division. Mulberry Main, they are predicted to come 10th in their league, so we should prevail in that one. Who knows? But there we go. Saturday, the 6th of August is the game for that. Stay tuned for that, folks. Should be a grueling game, I'm sure. So here we go. The first list of friendlies, our first friendly as well today against Derham Reserves. Again, we haven't got a squad. If we beat them, we beat them. If we don't, I'm not going to be too disappointed about. And it comes back, we draw 2-2. It was we're held to a 2-2 draw and a close fought friendly. And the first minute, we scored through Marcus Taylor. Oh no, Marcus Taylor's lapse. Oh no, we nearly handed a lead, but we didn't. Centre backs, we close range finish on 9 minutes. That's not too bad. And Ray Forward got the equaliser, so that's not too bad. So that's good. Player of the match was Joseph Sinch. We have a look at him. He's no stats at all. Oh well. So we've got Ben Jackson, the 19-year-old who I said to you earlier in the game was rated highly. So let's have a look at his stats when he actually joins the team. So Jackson, he is a 5-star rated player for our league, and boy, that's not bad stats for a player. Where has he been? He was at Northampton previous, so he's gone from Sky Bet League 2 to Eastern Counties Premier. I'm hoping he'll be a good player for me in the future. Blaney's been offered it, and we've now got another fullback, Sam Hayes, so that's good. As you can see, we're building a youth squad here, 4-star with the potential, and Znelli as well as the other fullback. So there we go. So we've got 2 new players in. We'll look at their stats now as well. So the first one that came in was Hayes. Not too bad. He's got very good physical rating, which is not too bad. Tackling's okay. Yeah, I think he's something we can develop, which is good. He's a fast player that can play on the left, so that might be come in handy if I want to use him on the wings. Zanelli is a right-sided side player. Again, average kind of stats. Kind of, if you ever go onto one of the players on here, like these ones here, it's kind of those similar type stats there. So, yeah, not too bothered about that. He's just kind of on the outside of that one there. So, well, we didn't get Tom Wellham, so that's a shame. We'll have to go back to the drawing board for a goalkeeper, and no report again on Ackle United. Maybe I need to get another scout in to try and scout some teams. I don't know. However, we need to go back to the drawing board and look for a goalkeeper because we didn't get our first choice goalkeeper. So, moving on to that. Didn't he just turn us down? No, he didn't. Right, okay. Let's have a look. See then, scouting wise. Oh no, I put a bid in for him, haven't I? Yeah, so we'll wait for Jack Metcalf. Hopefully we can get Jack. That might be good for us. So, moving on, we're coming close to our second friendly. Again, some players are making some offers. Obviously, I'm delighted to welcome the players. Of course, I'm looking to build for the future. I'm surprised he was released. He can go all the way. So there we go. I'm just putting it out there. So Metcalf, so we haven't got our goalkeepers that we want, which is not very good. So what I'm going to do is actually look at staff now because we've only got one scout. Oh, I pressed continue by mistake. That was silly me. Right, because we've only got one member of staff. I'm going to see if we can get some scouts in very much quickly and see if we can get some scouting done, because I'm going to need some players and pronto. So move to scouting very quickly. We need a chief scout. Okay, so Justin Goddelman, please say you'll want to join me. I'm going to put you down as chief scout. Oh no, we've got a chief scout. Oh, we've got another scout, so we only need one more scout. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is put one of the scouts out to do something. And quick, shall we say. Oh, why do you not want to take my offer of £50? Come on, take my offer of £50. No, I'm not going to get him. So there we go. He's decided to turn me down. What a... Yeah, I'll leave the rest of the words to your imagination. So there we go. Let's go for Wayne Lynch then. Come on, Mr. Lynch. Oh, don't do this to me. I want to give you 55. Come on. Come on, 55. Come on. Don't be sad. Come on, 50. Oh, yes, you want 55. There we go. Perfectly done. So there we go. That's numero 2. So hopefully we'll play the second friendly. And, I mean, we've still got some players waiting to join. But let's get one of these scouts out and doing something. So... we've got James Smith. I think I'm going to take away from the English County Leagues because I need someone quick. So, I need a first team player. I want a goalkeeper. No. Goalkeeper. There we go. Between 20 and 29. We can do 17, 29. Current ability is that. Potential ability of that as well, plus greater, whatever. Scouting range, obviously, is going to be England. I'm going to put it on James Smith. Ongoing and very urgent. So hopefully he can come back with a couple of scouts for me. So players in the last year of contract, we know, that's fine. 2 games left in friendlies and we've got to get a team together by the first game. Will I get a team together for the first game? We've got Ryan Harville in, which is good. We'll continue on very quickly. So, Ryan Harville, he is a midfielder. Yeah, not too bad. I will take them stats. He's not too bad, but not too great. But he's in the team. That's more important. And we've got Lacando as well. Peggy Lacando, 26-year-old. Love it. So he is an attacking midfielder but can play midfield and the wings, which is where I think I want him for, which is brilliant. We didn't get Blaney. That's a shame. We didn't get Blackford, but we did get Lynch, who was a scout, so that's great news. Looking at what we've got left, we've got 3 players left. Oh no, we've got Lynch. Knock is the other midfielder, and Atkin must be the... oh, he's a striker. So we've got Lynch in. That's brilliant. He's given me a scout report. I need a defender centre who's not with a team. I'm happy to approach him, and he doesn't want to work with us. So that's great news for that there. Great start. So no one again. I might have to try and change the team scouting because he's rubbish. Okay, so I think that's another episode done, guys. We are well into the friendlies. Got the FA Cup coming up. We've got half a team. In fact, before I do, let's assign some of the players that we've got. Let me just check to make sure there's none in the 23s. There we go. And none in the under 18s as well. So there we go. That's fine. So this is my squad at the moment. We've got Sam Hayes, Ben Jackson, Zanelli, Harville, Locandu and Ford. So let's assign these guys into the team. No goalkeeper. So we've got James and Nelly, and he's a defensive fullback, gives him a bit more potential. Ben Jackson, perfect. That's it. And Sam Haynes, fullback as well. So we've got 2 decent fullbacks. Ryan Harville in the midfield, and we've got Peggy Ladando and Ryan Ford up front, who is a poacher. So there we go. That was my team. Still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more positions to fill. Go on, Great Yarmouth, to the Prem. This is only the start. Tune in to episode 3, maybe to see how we get the FA Cup underway and hopefully get a team ready for the first game of the Eastern Counties Premier Division.